The entire Batman fandom pretty much agree that Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face from Joel Schumacher's Batman Forever is a pretty damn terrible take on the character. I myself am known for violently despising it. If you've missed out on that, I suggest you check out my old Batman movie villains video I did on a character. There's a link somewhere down below, probably. But today I am, bizarrely enough, here to talk about the few things I like about Tommy Lee's Harvey Dent. 5 things, to be specific, because it always has to be 5. Why am I doing this? Well, I guess I must have gone insane, or maybe I've been hit on the head, or perhaps I'm just drunk. But either way, let's get into it. This list is not in any order, by the way. I want to begin with the one thing that's always brought up when people praise this version of Two-Face. His opening speech.
One man is born a hero, his brother a coward. Babies starve, politicians grow fat, holy men are martyred, and junkies grow legion.
It's a pretty damn good speech. It fits Two-Face and his philosophy about chance perfectly. It's a pretty well written and poignant piece of dialogue too. Like Akiva Goldsman, the screenwriter, actually cared for a second. And Tommy Lee delivers it really well too. Until we get to this point.
Blind, stupid, simple, doodah, clueless.
Yeah, and it all goes downhill from there. But before that, it's great. And it's a great introduction to the character. We see a close-up of the coin flipping through the air, lining up with the bat signal in the background. And then Tommy Lee begins delivering the excellently written dialogue. All the while we're only seeing him from his normal side, building up the reveal of his scarred side. A shame the reveal itself is a disappointment. If only the rest of Harvey's dialogue had been as good, and if only Tommy Lee's performance had continued the way it started. He wears two-tone suits. Yeah, nowadays it's so rare to see Two-Face in two-tone suits. So looking back at this movie, I actually really appreciate that he wears them. I feel that Two-Face should wear these types of suits. It's his supervillain costume, for crying out loud. They help him stand out, especially if he's sporting poorly designed scarring. Two-Face without these suits is like Joker without purple. Now, the specific two-tone suits he wears in Batman Forever may not be the greatest, especially the main suit with animal print. I guess they wanted him to look like half a pimp. But to be honest, I've kinda begun to warm up to this half-pimp suit. I mean, if you look at it, the main pattern of the pimp side, the red with black stripes, isn't really that bad. It almost resembles some suits he's worn in the comics even. It's the rest of the outfit that spoils it. The zebra patterned collar and the cheetah patterned shirt and tie. It's a mess, and they should have just stuck to the red and black color scheme. I really like the tuxedo that he wears when crashing Nigma's party though, with splotches of purple on the evil side. His heavy metal meets house and garden suit that he wears for a couple of scenes is pretty neat as well, and definitely very creative. We've never really seen anything like it in the comics. He's a bona fide supervillain. Unlike some Two-Faces,
Shut up!
This take on a character is indeed a fully fledged supervillain. He's dangerous and a massive threat to Gotham. He is in fact public enemy number 1 until the Riddler shows up. And to be fair, Riddler could never have become so powerful if it weren't for Two-Face helping him out. Two-Face has an army of goons, all wearing the Two-Face uniform. He's got an entire arsenal of guns. Rocket launchers, machine guns, grenade launchers. He's got a fleet of vehicles, cars with mounted machine guns on them, and even a freaking helicopter. I wouldn't be surprised if he even had a submarine. Yeah, this is no soul angry dude running around with a snub-nosed revolver.
Shut up!
To give credit where it's due though, both Two-Faces throw a hell of a punch. Say what you will about Tommy Lee Dent, he was not some easily taken out punk.
Shut up!
He created Robin. In the movie, Two-Face is the killer of the Flying Graysons, and thus the creator of Robin. I've always really liked this idea, that Batman's former partner, D.A. Harvey Dent, creates his new partner, the Boy Wonder. There's something poetic and fitting about it. If any rogue should be the creator of Robin, I think it should be Dent. Batman wanting to save Harvey and Robin wanting revenge on him also creates an interesting dynamic between the dynamic duo. Of course, there are some problems with this in this movie, that namely being, we never really get to see Batman and Harvey be partners. We skip that entire part of the story. And for all we know, these versions of the characters never were partners, or at least never close, like in the comics. See, even when I'm trying to praise Tommy Lee Dent, there's something to complain about. But making Harvey the killer of the Graysons was a great idea that I really like, even though it maybe wasn't executed in the best way. His death scene. And no, I don't mean cause now we were finally rid of him. I genuinely really like Two-Face's death scene in Batman Forever. Villains dying from falls in movies is a staple, and for a good reason. It's a really dramatic and symbolic way to off your bad guy. In this movie, the villain falls to his demise while trying to catch his coin. A great death for Two-Face. After all, he's obsessed with the coin and can't live without it. It's more important than anything. So yeah, how else should you kill off Two-Face in your big movie? It's a perfect death for him. Now I'm gonna do it again though. I'm gonna sneak in some complaining in my praising. This version of Two-Face don't really follow the coin, as we see in that infamous scene. So why is it important to him? Why would he risk his life for it? But let's ignore that for now. Taken on its own, it's a great scene and a perfect death for this character. And yes, I know, Batman killing Two-Face after nagging Robin not to kill Two-Face because it's wrong is really stupid. But whatever, it's Batman Forever. There you go. 5 things I like about Batman Forever's Two-Face. How about that? Whoever would have thought it? I don't know what it is, but lately I've found myself not hating this take as much as I used to. I mean, make no mistake, this is still a very poor adaptation of Two-Face. But I guess it just doesn't bother me quite as much anymore. I definitely still am holding out for a far superior live-action movie Two-Face though, of course. Anyway, as always, remember, Arkham Asylum awaits you in the next video.